Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Magick BunBun and this is the first style of video I'm doing like this where it's more of tarot tips. It's to help you better learn the tarot, not exactly in the way of like telling you what does this card mean or how I interpret that. I may do that later. I'm more so trying to do this in the intent of helping you to learn the tarot, find the way that makes it easier for you to understand the tarot, showing you different options of how to apply that when you're reading the tarot. And also if you wanted to use the tarot when it comes to what's it called, like your witchcraft, if you happen to do magic and you wanted to use the tarot in that, or how to use different cards when you're doing a spread, how to ask questions with the tarot. More of that is what these videos are going to be. They're going to be hopefully under 5 minutes or about 5 to 10 minutes max, so it's a really quick lesson, easy to absorb. This video itself, because this is the introduction video, might be a little bit longer, just so I want you to feel comfortable here. You know, I've been doing tarot for over 15 years and I figured, you know what, it took me a while to really learn and find a way to really connect with the tarot, and I wanted to kind of give that with a bit of other information about other perspectives, you know, throw in there. So just keep that in mind. So, and there's like no right or wrong way to do this. This is just my opinion, my just knowledge that I just wanted to pass along. So keep a lookout for shorts if I decide to do, like, you know, shorts where you'll see like what this card means, what the Fool means, and a breakdown. These style videos are more of just like, hey, you know, you can use your tarot for this and, you know, you can apply it that way. You can learn about it, or let's go over this book, you know, that sort of stuff. Okay, so let me just kind of go over the basics of different ways of learning tarot, and then I'll kind of go over my preference for learning tarot. You know, first off, we always have to explain we have the major arcana, which are these main cards here, and then the minor arcana, which are the suits. Those are the ones that go through 1 through 10, and they have the court cards involved with them, and there's 4 different suits. Depending on what type of deck you have, because there are different styles of tarot decks out there. We have the wands, swords, pentacles, and cups. And that's like, you know, also referring to the elements. Some decks just use elements of like earth, air, fire, and water. And we'll kind of go over those details in a totally separate video. So I just kind of want to go over like the basics of like how to learn tarot. Maybe one of these ways will click with you, and maybe you want to learn more about them on your own, or in a future video I will post if you're interested, and I can do that for you. So we have the intuitive way, and the intuitive way of reading tarot is you don't use any guidebooks. You don't use anything. All you do is you kind of look at this photo and you write down, what does this look like to you? What does this animal, this little doggy that's right there, what does that mean to you? How does the position of the person in this card, how does that make you feel? What do you think is going to happen? And then you don't use a guidebook, you just kind of intuitively go off of that. You go off the imagery. And that works for a lot of people, and for some people, like for myself, I needed a guidebook. I wanted to know what was the basic of like the meanings behind the cards, and then I can interpret or add my own twist to it later about what it made me feel. So, you know, that's where you get reading a lot of different tarot books, because you want a lot of different points of view. You know, you don't want just one point of view and then have to be, you know, this is it, like this, there's no other way. Like, you don't want to be, it's hard to be that way because you want to like let tarot kind of be flexible in some interpretations. So one of my favorite books, which I will do a separate video about my favorite tarot books that really helped me and helped also to advance my tarot reading, because there's really good guidebooks that kind of give you a good start, and then there's other guidebooks that can help advance your tarot reading to the next level. But this is the Creative Tarot, and I'll explain why later, why I really clicked for me and why I really liked it. You can watch a lot of YouTube videos. There's like this one right here, or more specific videos that will actually break down each of the cards in the tarot, or podcasts. There's podcasts out there. So if you also have a series, or you have a favorite podcast and you want to like link it down below so you can check it out, please do. Just share it in the links below. You know, I would love to see it. Maybe someone else would love to see it. You never know. Let's see, giving tarot. If you see me looking over here, I got notes over here on my second monitor. I'm just making sure I cover everything and I don't forget. So I got give tarot readings and receiving tarot readings. You know, that could be really great to absorb some knowledge, because you're seeing it in practice and you are practicing with it. Practice makes perfect. Just using the tarot overall is going to give you the best experience when you want to learn. And we'll touch base with this in different videos. So like I said, this is more of an introduction video. This hopefully will be the longest video out of all of them. So you kind of get like an introduction of the rest of the series, where it's going to go. If there's something that I say that you're like, hey, I would like more information, can you please let me know? Drop a comment so I know to make a video about that. So like I said, you can go through the major arcana. Learning it is by going through like the journey of the Fool. We start with the Fool, going to the Magician. There's a lot of other tarot decks that kind of they won't have the same imagery. It'll be like using different artwork in a sense. And they'll go through the journey of the Fool, and then the journeys through the major or the minor arcana. Also connecting that minor arcana, again, it's sometimes easier, especially if you are a witch or you practice any sort of magic, if you're pagan and you use magic at all, and you connect with the elements. This doesn't mean if you have a deity or anything like that. It's more if you work with the elements and earth, air, fire, and water, and you want to connect that with the tarot, it's a really great way to do that. I find that's a really good start, to kind of give you that feel of what these cards are about. So cups would be water, swords would be air, wands would be fire, and pentacles would be earth. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to do that. It's totally, that deserves its own video on its own. So I'm going to do a separate one on that. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to now my preferred way. If you've ever got a tarot reading with me, if you've been with me on Twitch, on my Discord, on Instagram, all these places, if you ever got a reading with me and you kind of want to know how my mind worked or how I decided to like deepen my connection to the tarot, this is what I did. I actually preferred this way, was pairing, especially when it came to the minor arcana, instead of going through like all of the swords and going through the journey. Of course, I did read about that because a lot of books and a lot of guidebooks are set up in that way. Instead, I paired all of like the numbers together. Put it like this so you can see it. I got jumbo cards for this because it was easier for me to compare and see the difference. They all kind of have the same basic meaning, but then they all have their own niche, their own specialty that they would go through. And I'm going to do separate videos so that we can go through that together. And then as another type of way to make it even more advanced, I would attach it then to, like, we have the ones, so that would attach to the Magician. And then that's how you would see. Like if you got a lot of ones in your reading, you got a lot of aces, I should say, the Magician was present in your reading without having to be present. So you didn't have to pull a Magician to see that there was elements of the Magician there. So there's that way. And that's what the Creative Tarot book really like introduced, because they actually put them in that order. Once you got past like the major arcana, it would then pair everything by the numbers and then by the court card. So you get all the pages together, all the knights together, and it clicked for me. That was the best way for me to really learn about the tarot, is pairing it by grouping it by the numbers, by using numerology, and then later adding astrology. There is astrology elements into tarot where you can pair like each of these, like the High Priestess, each major arcana is connected to a planet or a zodiac sign. Like the High Priestess is connected to the moon. The Empress is connected to Venus, and then so on and so forth. And then you would have like the Empress connected to Aries. And those elements you can find within the tarot. Like you can bring it into it. Like what does that mean? It just adds more meaning to the cards. Now that could be very overwhelming, so I don't suggest it unless you maybe already have history with astrology, and that will help you with better learning the tarot. So that depends. Like it's on your own journey. Okay, so overall, let me just wrap this up right here. We're getting close to 10 minutes. Let me wrap this up because this is, like I said, a very introduction. I want to end this, though, with some steps that you can do while you're learning. Whether you're taking notes now, you're going to take notes later. If you're taking notes, please consider only doing 1 page per note, per card, in a sense of, and it will actually be 3 pages. It could be up to 3 pages. But 1 page with your notes with what it means to you upright. 1 page, what it means to you in reverse, if you're choosing to use reversals. You may do this later. You may add reversals later. But what it means to you in reverse. And then the last page, if you choose to add any astrology to your classes, to anything of that nature, add the astrology as the last page, so you kind of get what card, because even the minor arcana are attached to astrology. But a lot of people won't use those because they're very, very specific, where it's easier just to remember these guys and the court cards. Some court cards can be attached to 3 signs, up to 3. Like if you got the Page of Cups or the Knight of Cups, any of the court cards, the pages, knights, queens, or kings, you can get to represent Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. I actually have for the Knight, Queen, and King. I attach those specifically to zodiac signs, but that is just the way that I read tarot. So I will touch base with that totally later, so I can explain to that and the books that help me reach that conclusion as well. Okay, so, and I say that to take 1 page because you're not going to remember you're not going to remember more than 1 page worth of notes. This is a notebook that you're gonna come back to, and I say this from experience. Let me bring this into here. Move my switch, don't mind that. I've got 2 notebooks. I've got one for the major arcana and the court cards, and I did that. I have all of them coordinated by their numbers after when we get to like the minor arcana, because this is my other notebook for the minor arcana. And the first page is just like an overview of all the numbers, like if it's by numerology, like introduction to the aces. And then we go into swords, cups, wands, and pentacles. And each card gets about 3 pages each, because you're not going to really remember more than that. You're going to want to get the key points down, okay? This is just to like not stress you out. It's just kind of like picking the main parts that really give you a feeling. When you see this card, how does it make you feel? And that will help you interpret it in different ways. So you get this card for a love reading or a career reading or a personal growth reading. I mean, it'll have a basic feeling, and you'll be able to interpret it 3 different ways, and you won't have to reference your notes every single time for it. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. I'm going to now take a lot of these topics and break it down, but I really wanted to give you kind of like a starting point of, when you're taking notes, what you should be looking out for, what do you need to do, or like was there a way here that you're like, okay, intuitive, it really calls to me, or I prefer to go through the journey of all of them, or you're gonna like maybe do it by numerology, or by like, pairing everybody by their numbers and pairing it with their major arcana. We're gonna do a big breakdown. This is a huge series, so this is just the introduction to everything. So I hope you'll enjoy this series. I hope, you want to see something else. And thank you for being here. If you like this style of video, please give it a thumbs up so I know I'm on the right track. We're really gonna get into it, but it's gonna be very, very casual. We're gonna chill with here, okay? We're gonna have our music going like you hear in the background. That's my music in the background. And I hope to bring more of my knowledge to here so it can help you. It can help you learn. And please join the Discord if you would like to. I do have in the Discord, if you join in there, the links, everything will be in the description box. I have a Q&A sheet, and you can just click on it. It's a Google form, and you can ask your questions there, especially if you want to ask anonymously, and I can do videos about those specific questions, okay? And I hope to see you if you want to join us in for Twitch streams and all that fun stuff. Okay, so I will catch you guys in the next video, and I hope to have more information for you for then too, okay? And make sure you share, like, and subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know how it goes. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye!